How to support your teen when they only think about themselves. Hello, parents. I'm sure many of us have felt frustrated when our teens suddenly seem a bit hard to handle. Focusing only on themselves, demanding a lot from us, or even blaming others without showing understanding. Don't worry, today, I'm going to share some friendly, practical ways to walk alongside your teen during this unique phase. These tips come from real-life experience and will help your teen not only navigate the teen storm, but also grow into someone who cares and takes responsibility. Before diving in, let me highlight a few key points. First, it's completely normal for teens to be a little self-centered. It's their way of stepping away from the family to discover who they are. Second, don't stress too much, because over time, they'll start caring more about others. And finally, there are plenty of simple things we can do as parents to help them realize the world doesn't revolve around them. Let's explore these ideas together. Is it okay if my teen thinks they're the center of the universe? Have you ever heard your teen say something like, "Mom, you never do anything for me," while you're on your way to buy them new school supplies? Or maybe they flat out refuse to clean the bathroom because it's not their job. I get how frustrating that can feel, especially when you're trying your best and they still act so dismissive. But here's the good news. Parents, you're not alone. The truth is, if your teen is acting self-centered, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong as a parent. This is just a natural part of growing up. As teens enter adolescence, they tend to focus more on themselves. But here's the bright side. This phase will pass. You'll start to see them care about other people's feelings bit by bit. As long as we stay patient. Being a bit selfish is normal for teens. The word narcissism might make you think of someone who's arrogant, loves themselves too much, and doesn't care about anyone else. But when it comes to teens, this kind of narcissism isn't a big problem. It's more like a stepping stone for them to figure out their own identity. At this age, they need to pull away from their parents a bit to explore who they are and what they want. And focusing on themselves? That's just part of the process. Usually, by around 15 or 16, they'll start to ease up on the self-centeredness. But while we're waiting for that shift, what can we do to help them grow? Don't worry, I've got some fun ideas for you to try. Helping your teen learn to understand others. You know, the teen years are a golden time for kids to learn empathy, that ability to understand and feel what someone else is going through. But teaching this isn't as simple as reminding them to say, "Thank you," when they get a gift. Instead, try having natural conversations with them. For example, if they're talking about something that happened with a friend or teacher, you could ask, "How do you think your teacher felt when someone said something mean about them?" Or, "What do you think your friend felt when you canceled plans at the last minute?" Or maybe when you're watching a movie together, you could say, "Imagine what it'd be like to be in that family's shoes." Little questions like these gently nudge them to think about others without feeling forced. Doing good together. Telling your teen, "Finish your rice because there are people out there who don't have food," probably won't spark much compassion. But what if you take them volunteering? Maybe you could serve meals at a community kitchen or help out at a local charity. Those experiences can show them the value of giving back. They'll realize how lucky they are and see how they can make a difference for others. If you don't have time for big outings, encourage them to tutor a struggling classmate or visit elderly neighbors. Make helping others a regular part of family life, and they'll pick it up naturally. Be a role model for kindness. Kids learn by watching us. So show them you care about others too. It doesn't have to be grand. Just stopping to help someone who tripped on the street or sharing food with an elderly neighbor can make an impact. The way you treat people around you shapes how they see the world. By doing this, you're teaching them that kindness and generosity matter, encouraging them to think broader. Teens love to point fingers, don't they? If a friend doesn't text back right away, they might think, "What a jerk." Or if they get a bad grade, they'll say, "The teacher hates me." When that happens, gently ask, "Is that the only reason they didn't reply? Could there be something else going on?" A simple question like that helps them see things from different angles instead of getting stuck in their own head. Building true confidence. We all want our kids to feel good about themselves. But confidence based on fancy phones or cool shoes doesn't last. Help them see that their worth comes from inside, things like working hard, being kind, or bouncing back from tough times. When they feel proud of who they are deep down, they won't need to show off. And they'll have the strength to face life's challenges. Teaching them to handle emotions. Have you ever seen your teen get upset and take it out by yelling or breaking something? Maybe they got cut from the soccer team and posted something mean about the coach online. In those moments, you can guide them toward healthier ways to cope, like writing in a journal when they're sad or talking to a friend when they're embarrassed. You could also share your own stories, like, "When I was younger, I messed up too, but here's how I got through it." They'll feel closer to you and learn positive ways to deal with their feelings. Letting them own their choices. Sometimes, teens need to learn from the consequences of their actions. If they break something, ask them to replace it. If they come home past curfew, they might lose their next night out. Don't be afraid to let them make mistakes, as long as it's safe. When they struggle, you can suggest solutions, but let them take the steps to fix things. That's how they grow. Wrapping up, raising a teen is never easy. But with love, patience, and the tips I've shared, you'll see them change little by little. Start today, maybe with a short chat or a small act of kindness you do together. Before you know it, your teen won't just be less self-centered, they'll grow into someone kind and responsible. Wishing you all the best and lots of happy moments with your teen.